You may have heard about the Apex gang and how some of the members, they've been taking their visas away from them. What's your input on that?
I think if you were to have a look at the crime statistics of the sorts of crimes that are happening in Melbourne, the sorts of crimes that are happening by Sudanese people or other migrants is much, much lower than the general population. And I think it's very much a media beat-up against a particular group of people within our society. And I think to target them as far as taking away their visas, it does nothing at all for reducing crime in our society.
What alternative do you think there are to revoking visas?
I really don't think that people's visas should be revoked at all. I think that's just a power grab as such from the immigration minister, and I think he's already got quite a lot of power already as far as issuing visas and taking them away goes. I think a lot of people might turn to crime-related activity if they've felt like they're not part of society as such. And I think if we had a lot more job creation, a lot more youth engagement, a lot more, I suppose, bringing together different groups of people on a social basis, then people won't feel so socially marginalised and would all be benefiting from that.
What do you think the government should do to prevent the crime?
I think that bringing in a lot more job creation and community engagement will naturally reduce crime. And also I think from an economic perspective as well, when people are able to, I suppose, afford the necessities of life, then the pressure to engage in the sorts of crimes related to theft and that sort of thing would be greatly reduced. So if we had, I suppose, if you haven't been lucky enough to get a job, if we had the sorts of social security that's above the poverty line, I think that would be something that would really impact on other areas such as crime and reduce it.
The Apex gang is varied of different groups, both Sudanese, Islanders and Middle Eastern. Do you think that the media and the government are being really biased towards only the Sudanese community?
I think certainly there seems to be a lot of biases, definitely racial undertones, and I think that's a very ugly thing. If media and the government were really serious about crime, they'd be looking at the facts rather than beating up on some sort of hype about a particular group. And it really does affect everyone in that group, not just the people who might be committing crimes, but also other people who are going to be seen in the light of being undesirable in our society, even when they're doing a great job contributing to it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for asking great questions.